Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. So today is going to be an update for my eyeshadow roulette series that I started last month. So it's been about a month. I've been working on 5 shadows. If you want to hear more about the basis of this project, you can watch my last video, but essentially I have all of the eyeshadow pans in my collection in a spreadsheet, and I just choose out 5 randomly to focus on in a month. I am not focusing on panning any of these. I did have a surprise pan this past month, which I will share with you, but we are going to kind of recap last month, pick out some new shades for this month. I'm really excited, so let's just go ahead and get started. So first up from last month, we had my Lorac 2 palette, and the shade I chose out randomly was Buff, and as you can see, it is the babiest of pans. As soon as I panned this, I kind of stopped using it. This was a really good shade to set my eyelids before going in with eyeshadow, so I really did get a lot of use out of that. Next up was my Subculture palette. So this shade that I chose out here is Mercury, which is this shade up in the top right corner. So this is more of like a grayish, cool toned color. I used this a couple of times. Honestly, I didn't do the best job of using these shades this month just because I was traveling and I didn't bring any of these palettes with me. But I did use this shade a couple of times. I'll put in a look here that I did with it. It was a very simple look, but I did use that color, and I think I used Edge in that look. I'll confirm when I see the look, but I really enjoyed having this palette in the rotation. It caused me to reach for it more, which was really nice because I really do like that palette. There's fuzzies flying everywhere. Next up was my Sweet Talk palette by ColourPop, and the shade that I had was West Side, which is just this very warm, like mid-toned brown shade. I did use this a couple of times. I use this palette in general a couple of times. It's a nice transition shade, but happy again to be focusing on something else. So then we had my Violet Voss Pro palette. This is the Ride or Die palette. Truly a massive palette. And the shade that I had was Nicole, which was this shade here. Nicole is just that like mid-toned, cooler toned brown. This shade really didn't impress me at all. I used it once and then I just didn't want to use it anymore just because it has a bit of a sheen to it and it is very sheer. So the way that I thought I was going to use it was as a cooler tone transition shade, but it really didn't work for that because it had that sheen and it was also so sheer. And I've actually made the executive decision to declutter this palette. I love this. When I first got it, I got a ton of use out of it. Now it's been kind of just sitting in my collection, you know, just collecting dust, and although it does have a shade named Jamie, which I really appreciate, it's a shade that I've never used, but I just feel like this palette could have been condensed. I feel like some of the shades are very similar to one another, and I feel like all of these shades could have been eliminated. I just feel like this palette is just too much. It's not what I'm gravitating towards these days, so I am going to go ahead and sell this on my Poshmark. I'll leave my Poshmark link down below. This was a limited edition palette, but I'm really excited that focusing on that palette this month kind of made me make up my mind about it. Then we have my Morphe palette. Not gonna lie, I did not use this shade because I was terrified to. So the shade that I had was this one over here. It has no name, but it's a very like hot red with shimmer. I didn't use it, but that's okay. So we're gonna go ahead and choose out 5 more shades randomly. So let's just go ahead and jump into that portion of the video. So I have my laptop in front of me. I also have my phone. I'm gonna bring up my Pretty Random app. I'm gonna do minimum 1. Maximum is, well, now I have to remove, I have to remove all of those Violet Voss. Hold on. So now I have 775 shadows. So we're gonna do 775. The first shade we got is 18. Next we have 577, 196, 651, 441. I'm gonna go see which eyeshadows these numbers correlate to in my collection, and I will grab them and I will be right back to show you. Okay, so I have gathered all of the eyeshadow palettes. We have 5 different palettes this month, so I'm just gonna go through and show you guys the shades. So number 18 came from my Hard Candy Look Pro eyeshadow palette. I chose out the shade Double Date, which is this one here. It's kind of like a shimmery bronze. I'm gonna swatch it. So that's Double Date. You know what, I'm just gonna swatch like a normal person on my hand. So there's Double Date. So we chose shade 577, which actually comes from the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe. So the shade that was chosen was the shade Diva, which is actually this one down here. So it's like this metallic green. I'm gonna swatch it. I've never used this shade. Ooh, okay. That's really pretty. Look at that. Ooh. Oh, I'm so excited. I've never used that shade. I'm really excited that I got that. Next out, we chose number 196, which comes from my Pure My Little Pony palette, which is so funny because I was just thinking the other day how I have to use this palette more. The color that was chosen is Applejack, which is this gold here. So let's swatch her. Ooh. That looks really nice with the green. So far I feel like I have a pretty like fall color palette, which is fine. It's almost fall, which is weird. Next we chose out the number 651, which comes from my Juvia's Nubian 2 palette. And the shade that was chosen is Cleopatra, which is the bright blue, of course, naturally. So let's see. Oh, wow. How pretty is that? Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. Again, I don't think I've ever used that shade, so it's good that I chose that randomly. Then lastly was number 441, which comes from my Lorac Mega Pro palette. And the color that was chosen is Stone, which is a matte, which I'm happy about because so far all I've had are shimmers. So this is Stone here. It's just like this light gray. Ooh, very pigmented. I'll swatch it down here. So there is this month's color palette. I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, it's definitely outside of my comfort zone. We definitely got some colors going on, but like I love this blue, gold, and green together. I think that they are just so like jewel toned and really pretty. I'm excited to get some use out of this bronze color. I've never actually used that color. And Stone is the one that I feel like doesn't really go, but it'll be good. It'll make me reach for this palette more, which I really haven't reached for it in a long time. So I am really excited for this month. I feel like I'm gonna be able to come up with some pretty cool looks, and I will definitely take pictures if I do come up with good looks. I'll definitely try and use these shadows more than I did last month. I'll kind of make it my goal to use each shadow 2 times. So let's see if we can make that happen. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, you can always give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed already, I do hope that you will think about subscribing if you so desire. I would love to see you back here. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!